Hey everyone. Sorry, I'm late.
Hey Lauren, I think you should repeat what you said to us about the medium clapping thing, because I think it's awesome, and I think everybody should know that.
I think almost everybody was in the communications meeting, but yeah, if you guys didn't hear and you click on the claps on a Medium blog post and you like click and hold it, then it generates like 50 claps. So it's a really awesome way to like add extra support.
It's totally crazy. It's like, it's not a bug, right? That's a feature. And like, how did I not know that? I mean, does everyone know that except us?
I didn't know that.
I remember when they changed it. I remember back in the day.
Old school professional. Alrighty. I guess I can go first. So basically, I've mostly been working on the deployment stuff. So at the moment, if someone edits a project, the old version of the description is showing. I think that's the most pressing part of this, basically. But ultimately, it stems from a very single source, that we build the application, we build the HTML and deploy it to a server, right? And we do that at the build time when we go live or whenever we do a deployment. And if after this has happened, somebody edits the details of their project, that's not going to show unless there's another deployment right now. Matteo, that's what I understand, right? Like, there's no way we want to do something like fetch the description through Ajax and all this kind of stuff, right?
I wanted to check that because as I was aware, I thought I set up that like you get first the information coming from the build, and after that I make an Ajax request to get the latest. So I wonder why it's not showing the real information. Maybe it's being cached, so maybe it's not up to date yet. So I want to check on that because it shouldn't happen really.
Okay,
there
so
might be an easier way, like, sorry, Netlify supports webhooks to trigger a build.
Yeah, and that's what I'm working on right now. So like, I have a hook in place that when an edit is done or when a project is created, that it pings Netlify and tells Netlify to do a build and a deploy. And I'm currently like in the middle of it right now because I'm not totally happy with this, because it could conceivably happen that someone edits a project, saves, edits a project, save, edits a project, save, and then there could be a whole ton of builds. So what I'm thinking right now is that like whenever someone edits a project or whenever a new project is created, we create a state that a build is needed, and it sits there like saying, yes, a build is needed. And then I'm thinking right now, I wanted to talk to you guys about it, like maybe every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes, we check if a build should be done or not. And if it is to be done, then it's done, essentially. So it means that like we could check every 5 minutes, and then at the very most, we'd have a build every 5 minutes, which is way too much, right? But I think that like most of the time, there's going to be no changes for many hours, right? But like maybe at the beginning, like it might be a bit intense, I don't know. But that's currently what I'm thinking is the best solution right now. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I think the whole system is a bit, like I said yesterday, it's dependent on our user count and interaction, like you just said. Because we pay €7 for 500 build minutes, I think it might be okay for now. But we should definitely revisit this topic soon. And I don't really know another way if we want to keep playing with like this feature of Gatsby. The only way would be to go back to like really render it on our server and get it from there, or like another way. That's the only other way I see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not digging this situation right now, I have to say. Like, it's a problem because we don't have a server. Like, as we keep discussing ad nauseum, like with Next.js, this wouldn't be an issue, right? Or with PHP or with any of these other like old school ways of doing these things. But I think like the way I'm proposing to do it, I think is good. I'm happy with it. It's not awesome, but I'm happy with it. And I think we should just try it. And if we have problems, then we address these problems. and go from there, basically. So that's kind of what I'm prioritizing right now. I don't anticipate any problems for the launch. Like, I think it's unlikely anyone will hit the issue. I don't know, Kai, you found it, right? But I'm hoping by the end of today to at least have this 5-minute thing in place, and then I don't think anyone will see this again, probably.
So if the 5-minute thing works, like I said, we should probably like have a little unsafe like message. Hey, please wait a few minutes, or don't do anything until like a few minutes have passed. Because people do, I think, check immediately. Some might, and then it's not there, and then they go back and they edit again. They hit save again, and then you get these loops, I think. But if we tell them, hey, wait a few minutes, because this is still our our MVP, we're working on optimization. I don't know if we don't have to give an excuse there, but we should tell the users what to expect, because people will expect instant. And the funny thing is that it is in the, like I said, it's totally persistent on within the edit, because that saves immediately. So people will be like, hey, this is broken. I see it in edit view. I don't see it in the campaign. Or that's what I would imagine.
Yeah, no, if it's going to be every 5 minutes, then we definitely should have a messenger, right? And I mean, we could just tell the truth and say, like, yeah, it takes 5 minutes to build it or something. Or we could say that for quality purposes, it may take 5 minutes for your changes to show. I don't know if you want to do that.
But anyway, I am making AX requests for getting the donations real time and the likes and everything that is not that it can be updated without the build rendered. So I think I want to check on that again, because it was working. I think something happened there, because, and we shouldn't need to make any message. It should show instantly. So I want to see. I will work on that right now and see what's happening. Besides,
I mean, that would be most ideal, I would say. Like, if we can have it instantly, it's a bit messy if you have to wait 5 minutes or something.
And yeah, the other error that I showed you is really worrying me, because it's the tab of donations for your project, for your account, and I have no idea.
Yeah, I keep trying to get there, and I keep getting like redirected and stuff. Okay, now let me try. You have to be logged in to see this.
Yeah.
Okay, now I've got it. Now I've got it. All right. So I will work on this with you immediately. That's it for my update anyway. If you want to go ahead.
Yeah, I can go on. From my side, I was working on every feedback that was made since Sunday, I think. I made a lot of changes, mostly about the donations table on the public route of the project, the MetaMask pop-ups that were really annoying and showed like 5 at a time. What else? Many visual issues that Chris was mentioning yesterday. Yeah, I think there were others, but I'm not remembering them right now. So yeah, I was working on that. Right now, I want to check on that issue of the edition of the project to see the changes instantly. What was it? Yeah, this really weird error that is occurring on the account page. So that's it. Before that, I was working on the Xdie login option. That should be really priority as well. I believe that I can get that working by tomorrow, or mostly Friday, because that can be very essential for now that we are live. So yeah, that's it. I don't want to give any update or anything.
Yeah. Cool. I don't know. Anyone else have an update?
I have. I just fixed an issue and on the UI, and I implemented on the develop branch the end-to-end test CI with Netlify. So it's working, but there is an issue, and I think it's because it's really intensive, computing intensive, and so it crashed. And but I mean, the end-to-end test locally works, so it's not the test that didn't pass, but it's like just Chromium that failed. And so but maybe it's like a restriction on the computation we have on Letlifi. So I don't know. And I saw that, James, you merged, but maybe I can continue trying to maybe add some tests and see if it crashed. It still crashed, or I don't know. And I'm trying, in fact, to because there is an issue. We cannot connect to MetaMask, to the MetaMask account with end-to-end tests. So it's really annoying because plenty of tests requires that we are connected with them. So I'm trying to find a way to inject a Web3 provider and to maybe connect an account with one of Ganashly, and I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a solution about that, and just to fake that we are connected with a wallet, and so I can access to stuff I could not if I'm not connected to. So I'm working on that. I'm not sure if I will succeed or not. But tell me if you want that I handle some issues that are more critical for the launch. Just tell me, and I will prioritize that.
Cool.
And that's it.
That's great. So, okay. I think there is like a headless mode, like for Cypress. I'm not sure. I really don't know Cypress. You probably know more about it than I do at this point. But that may be some clue for running it on Netlify or something. But I'm really not like, the more I think about it now, like the more I don't know if we want to run it on Netlify, because already like we're concerned about our build minutes, and it's already really slow. It's like 3 minutes for even just changes to data right now. So maybe these are tests that we should run locally. I'm totally okay with that. And maybe for now, let's just focus on getting some kind of coverage, or like making progress in our test coverage this way, right? I would say, like, let me think about the logged in thing, because the more I think about it now, it could just be a question of, yeah, we can do some faking, you know, like maybe we need to save something in local storage or a cookie or something like this, or else have a token, like a test token that has no access or something that we just put in the browser or something like this. So let's talk about that afterwards. I'll have a think about this. That's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, like for me, like I don't know how is Matteo gone now? Yeah, he's probably working on this issue. Like for me, I think the testing is like super important, because it means that like if we get some kind of test like coverage that makes us confidently able to deploy quickly, that really changes a lot of things for us. So I think like it's definitely, I mean, critical. It's not like 100% critical, but unless you feel strongly like you really want to work on bugs and features, then I'm happy with you to continue looking at this. If you get bored of that, or you want to change of scene, or you feel like you want to work on other stuff, just say so. But otherwise, like it's really valuable what you're doing.
No, I can continue, no problem, because I'm searching for ways for injecting the Web3 in the local storage and by the window. I mean, I'm trying stuff, and because I'm in it, I think it's cool that I continue and not leave that. But I will keep you up to date if I face some difficulties, and if you have some idea, I'm open that you share with me. Because I implement that or try stuff.
That's cool, man. And thank you very much. It's so super cool. I don't know if everyone has seen this, but Merlin basically like implemented some automated testing for the already. And I don't remember how many test cases you've done, like, but maybe 4 or 5 or something like this, or like four or 5 tests anyway. That you just run in the command line and it automatically does all this stuff that like confirms that it's not broken. So it's really great for us to be able to have some confidence, like before we give it to you guys to test, for example. And ultimately, like if we can automate testing, then it means we can release more often, and more quickly and more easily with less costs and less waste of everyone's time, which means we can deploy new features like super quickly, which means super cool stuff for us, basically. So it's quite exciting from my perspective, or from our perspective, I would say. Yeah. Matteo, you're back. You have any, we were just talking about the testing, the Cypress testing and all this kind of stuff. So Merlin's going to keep working on this and try to figure out how to inject the Web3 provider and try to log in and this kind of stuff. So it would be cool.
Yeah, I was going to mention that it's probably the Ethers package that was making the test fail. Or
you're very soft, man. I can't hear you so well.
Sorry?
Can you turn your volume up, or is it me? I can't hear
It might
you.
be your connector. You might not be fully in the jack. It's buzzing.
Give me a second.
I don't know if he jumped off now, so I can give an update.
Great.
So first of all, hey Merlin, thanks for coming. Welcome to the dev team. Officially now from me. It's magic that you're here, and it's love your name, man. It's awesome. It's very cool that you're doing these. You're implementing the tests. Weirdly enough, Google gave me an intro to Cypress like the other day, so I don't know what weird stuff is going on there. But thank you for doing that. My update is a small one for now. We do have alerts and monitoring now. So our monitoring system is Prometheus, and the alerts automatically get dropped into the DevOps channel. I will also hook up Merlin with that because you need to have a role in Discord. If anybody, we have full-on Grafana dashboards for all backend servers. If James or Matteo or Merlin, you want to look at that, there's one thing. We do have a whitelist firewall on there, so I would need your current IP address if you want to log in. And I mean, maybe we can take that away, but I kind of like to have them. Also implemented the firewall on. Sorry, do you guys want to react?
Yeah, sorry. I somehow didn't hear where you put where is the whitelist if you want access to what? Is it for the?
It's on DigitalOcean directly. So in DigitalOcean you can have an IP.
I don't think I have a fixed IP though.
Yeah, same for me. So every time I need to do something, connect to the server, like I usually freak out. Then I remember that I have a very strict whitelist firewall. Then I put in my new IP address. For me, it's very easy because I do have access to the DigitalOcean front end, and I just put them there. But we could also discuss, like, so if I leave it open, anyone could check our Prometheus stuff. I don't know. It's recommended to do it like that. So if we think it's no big deal, I can remove that firewall. And yeah.
Let's see how it goes. I mean, like if like in operations, like as we use it, right? Like, I mean, I log into the server every day, many times. And I suppose if I have to do it once a day, that's not the end of the world. But if I have to do it like somehow it's changing like 2 or 3 times a day, then it's a bit annoying, right?
As far as experience goes, you would usually look if something goes down, like what's happening, like is the service up, and you do get all alerts in the DevOps channel. Like it will say, hey, you're running out of memory, or hey, your CPU is likely to overload soon. They have a great alert system, so it will tell you before your resource runs out. And you only need access to the Grafana and that's the other stuff if you want to do heavy optimization and look at like the history of the graphs that were collected from our machines.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm often in there just doing other stuff. Like I'm often like debugging even, like and like restarting PM2 processes and stuff like this. And like, I mean, I'm adding, and like adding and changing like envars and stuff like this. Like there's a whole lot of stuff that we're not gonna get out of Discord, you know the way.
Yeah, you're still. I did not implement anything on the except like a firewall on the backend server. So like another firewall, a UFW firewall. And I'm talking about another one. This is only for the it's the domain is status.giveth.io and it gives access to the full monitoring system of Prometheus and the Grafana dashboard. So if you want to look at that, you would need to say, hey Kai, add my new IP address, and then you could log on and look at that.
Okay, it sounds like that's totally. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I did implement UFW and dev. I just wanted to do it there to see if there are any ports I'm missing, because it will lock any connections to ports that are not listed in the firewall. And it seems like it's working, so I will implement that on the other servers as well. I will also install fail to ban. So we are the only ones, like only if your authorized keys are in there, you can even try to connect to the server.
Okay.
All other people will have like crazy timeouts and like maybe even a honeypot. I don't know how wild we want to go, but like as soon as we're not attacked, like a simple firewall should be enough, and fail to ban is pretty cool. So I will do the other stuff that's assigned to me in this sprint, like over the course of the following week. I'm still looking at the automatic. I keep pushing the automated backups. I will try to fit it in a time frame. The next thing I wanted to do, actually, which I did not, which originally was not part of that sprint, Matteo might have fixed some of those already, but Chris, our old communications lead, like from way back, opened like a host of issues that are mostly concerning mobile style things. And I can also take all of those. They're very simple visual fixes.
All of them, but the mobile ones. They are like 3 or 4.
Oh, nice.
Really simple.
Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah.
Cool. For the automated backups, like I'm going to need to create a cron job for the deployment stuff anyway. So I thought about creating this as a separate repro, even a repository. Sorry. Yeah. So maybe we do it like that together, like, and then I can start that, and then like you can just hook in. I can even look at I can keep the database backups in mind, basically.
Okay, nice.
And then we can do it like this. So I'll just, for now, I'll first set up like the scheduling part that like does the scheduling or whatever, and then we'll just have different functions that do different things, and I'll make one function for doing my stuff, and then you can just create another function, or we can do it together or whatever, create another function for backup.
I mean, that's where speed is like I have a problem with that, because and the reason why I took it on at first was like I never really got around to play much with Node.js, and that's of course a Node.js job. So I was like, hey, nice, finally an opportunity to get into Node, but I do see that I'm kind of holding it back. So looking over your shoulder while you do it would also be a good thing, I guess.
Perfect. Cool. Sounds good. And Node.js is just JavaScript. Like it's really, there's not much to it.
I know. It's just like it has different implications and applications because you actually run on the system.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing, Matteo, your comment there about not being able to log in with XDAI. Do you think as a quick fix we can just make a user guide for that and then put it somewhere?
Well, I mean, it should be not that complicated to get it ready for today, but a quick fix is just maybe make an alert that says you have to log in with mainnet, and then you can change the network. But that's not ideal, I think. So I will try to push it today as soon as possible and see if that goes well.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Just a tooltip with the text, because then like it works, but you know you got to do it a certain way until you can get it like 100%. Okay.
Exactly.
Cool. Is there anyone else who wants to bring anything else up? Has there been any issues that are urgent that we need to prioritize? I know Chris was adding new issues in there.
I wanted to highlight that one page, white page thing again. So Lauren, you still have that?
This is what Mateo's working on, right? Or like what I'm looking at here also.
Another one.
Another one. Do we know what it was before? This white stuff? White page thing?
So basically what happens is that it has to do with the old website that was there. The old website installed a service worker like any Gatsby deployment, and it proves to be quite stubborn. They usually have a timeout of like 2 months or something, and like at some point they should vanish for all users. But as it currently stands, if you were visiting Giveth.io before we deployed, you probably have that service worker still in there. Yes, that's it.
Okay. So I misunderstood you then. When you were talking about the service worker, like this is not the standard service worker for Gatsby.
Yeah, it's the problem is that the old one is so stubborn and going away. I don't know why our new service worker does not overwrite the old one, because that's what I think would happen usually if you change a Gatsby site. I know we have a custom one, so it might be related to that. It should actually overwrite the old one, but ours does not. So I don't know how.
So I can tell you some things about that then. So like we had a custom service worker for tours in direct, what's it called? Direct auth. And that could be it then. And that would make sense because the new Gatsby should play nice with old Gatsbys, right? But obviously, if we put in a custom service worker, then that could be something that causes a problem. So yeah, I'll take that as a clue also.
It might be a bit hard to fix because the problem is only reproducible if you were loading the old Giveth, and I can't reproduce it on any of my machines.
I can produce it on Giveth.io, but you can't produce it on your local, no?
No, that's out of the question. Also, like it would only be Giveth.io because the old one was there.
And Mateo, same for you. You can't produce it anywhere except on the live server.
Yeah, I think we are talking about two different things. This blank page is the general application. If you go to Giveth.io, it goes blank. What we are working on right now is a blank page that is showing the account / my donations that Griff and Mitch, I think, encountered earlier this morning. So this one I am suspecting is related to a library or something. But the other one is the service worker or something like that. That we have been discussing since yesterday.
So this is on the homepage that it's white. It's a blank screen.
Yeah.
And that's what you see. Lauren, when you go there now, you see a blank page.
Yeah, still a blank page unless I hard reload.
And after hard reload.
After a hard reload, it's normal. Like I can see it's like welcome to Future of Giving or whatever, and I can interact with the site.
Forevermore, it stays cool. It stays good. Yeah.
So it stays good like after that initial period until like I close my browser and then like later come back to it and then like type in Giveth.io and it's blank again.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know it's a service worker? Did you see something in the console?
So I know that like I had that problem as well. And then I was like playing around with my browser and I actually invalidated the old service worker and I've never seen it again. So that's why I'm sure it's that.
Okay. I can look. I'll look into this then. I guess after maybe we look at the white page that we're looking at already first, Mateo. and then I can look at this. Yeah, if there's nothing else, maybe we should end the call there and get on top of this.
Another one that is we need to also add the PAN contract to our backend so we can add the price properly. So I know you made an endpoint to fetch the every token that we are using, but I didn't set up that properly yet. So I'll do it manually so it's faster right now. So do you want to add the PAN token for the impact graph and I'll add it to the front end so it's faster, or what do you think?
If you're not using it anyway, then I guess it doesn't really matter. Just do it the way you're doing it already. But if you have the object anyway, you can just send it to me in Discord and I'll stick it in there for when we change over.
Sure. Great.
Cool. Anything else? Shall we stay on, Matteo, and see if we can figure this one out?
Yeah, maybe let's decide what's more priority. the blank page, I think the general blank page, or the other one.
Well, I would say okay. Yeah, I mean, okay. All right. Well, if I can't create the white page anywhere, then I would rather focus on the donations when you're working on, or try and, I think they're both super important, right?
Yeah.
I have one question. Like, if we just remove our custom service worker.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that, but I don't know what that means right now. Like, it's kind of like, I first want to see if there is one, and then if there is one, then remove it and see if nothing happens. And if that's the case, then definitely do that for sure.
The funny thing is, if I go there now, I don't have any service workers registered at all, and the page still works for me.
Right.
Like in your Chrome, you can look there, right? Like whether you're a registered service workers, and for Giveth.io, it doesn't show anything. And I really suspect if we can get rid of that, we should probably put it out of static and see if that solves the issue. We can still put it back after.
Yeah, if we don't use it, then let's take it out, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
See you later.
See you guys.
Ciao.